Welcome to Recover in Place. For today's mobility routine, we're doing some movements with the pelvis and the spine and hopefully make them move a little bit better. So let's start off here. We're going to need a pad, some floor space. We also need some wall space for later. So starting off in this half kneeling position, I'm going to be nice and tall with the spine. We're going to think about doing some movement from the pelvis here. All right. So I'm just going to cross my arms so you can hopefully see this a little bit. I'm not going to get a ton of movement out of this because it's pretty tight. Again, I don't want to push into any pain. I'm just trying to create a little bit of movement with that pelvis. All right. We're going to get 6 each side of this. So I'm going to do 6 with this and just switch my leg position. I'll get another 6. Nice and tall. Give myself kind of a little bit of a hug here. And then I'm going to think about tucking my tailbone underneath. Right. Once I've kind of gone as far as I can comfortably, come back to neutral. And then I'll think about tipping the front part of my pelvis forward as I untuck basically my tailbone. Alright? So that'd be 1 rep. So we're going to get 6 total. So nice and smooth. Tucking, neutral, untucking. Right? Nice and smooth here. I shouldn't feel any pain in my lower back. Let's go nice, smooth move. 6 total. I got my 6. I'm going to switch sides here. So I'm now switching the legs. I'm still nice and tall here. Give myself that hug. And again, moving from the pelvis. So think about tucking tailbone underneath, right? Going back to neutral and then untucking it a bit. Again, I should feel no pinching in the low back. So again, no pain to this. So it's a pretty small movement. Usually pretty tight on the folks. 6 total reps. 6 total. Nice and smooth. So once we've got our 6, we're going to come over here to the wall. So with this, I want to start pretty close to the wall, depending on how flexible your spine is, and how much you're kind of moving it normally, right? So I'm going to stay pretty close to it right now. I'm probably maybe about an inch or so away, and then as I kind of open this up, I can go a little bit further away. So I'm going to start here, arms are going to go overhead, and then I'm going to think about coming back into extension here. So I'm extending back, and my hands are just going to touch, all right? So from here, keeping the neutral, basically pelvis position, which we were working with earlier here, I'm going to think about pushing my pelvis forward, and I'm leaning back, and just getting some nice touching here. So if you're really tight through here, you might feel a stretch here. Again, I shouldn't feel any pain in the lower back. So we're starting pretty close here, right? Pushing the pelvis forward, leaning back, touching the fingertips, and then again, using the abs to kind of come back to that neutral position here, all right? So really working within yourself on this one. Again, if you're pretty tight like I am, you're probably not going to be able to go super far with this one. But we're going to get about 10 reps on this. 10 reps. As you're breathing. Down, kind of shake those arms out a little bit. I know it's kind of hard to hold them overhead. But again, you should have felt a little nice extension in the back, right? If you're feeling pretty comfortable, by all means, you can move yourself away. I just started there because it's a nice position, especially if you've had some lower back issues, which I've had in my past. I like to start pretty close and then progressively kind of build yourself away. But it is a pretty big extension as you're kind of folding backwards. So really be careful with that low back especially as you lean back. So find a position that works for you. The next one, we're also going to be using the wall on this one. So again, I want to start pretty close. I'm going to kind of give myself kind of a hug here, crossing my arms. What I'm going to do now, feet are going to be hip width, I'm going to rotate to my right, and then from here I'm going to lean back until my basically backside of my shoulder touches the wall. All right, so same thing applies. I don't want any pain in the lower back or any part of the spine for that matter. I'm just getting a nice little movement. So again, I'm going to rotate to the left now, lean back. I'm just going to alternate back and forth. I'm going to get 5 each side for a total of 10. All right. So if you want to scoot yourself a little bit further away, you can as we do this. I'm just going to start pretty close, because again, it's pretty tight on me. So I rotate, lean back, so I get that shoulder to touch, back to center, rotate, back touch, back to center. So that was 1 each side, right? So 5 each side total. Keep breathing. Each side. Again, easy with the rotation. Make sure you rotate, then you lean back. Shoulder just taps the wall. Use the abs to kind of pull yourself back. Be really careful with that one. As you're doing it, it's a great mobilization, but again, I don't really want to force myself through it. That's why the wall is here. That's why it's pretty close. All right, the next one we're going to do, also using the wall here, is I'm going to go a little bit wider stance here with my feet. I'm kind of almost where I would do my sumo deadlift here. I'm going to get my toes pointing straight ahead. Butt is going to go hinging back. Hands get placed on the wall. I'm going to take my right hand and then I'm going to reach and rotate a little bit towards my left. All right? So I'm just kind of reaching for the toe here, right? Reaching for the toe, just back and forth. Not a ton of rotation that's happening here, just a little bit. Just kind of gets it moving back and forth. So we're going to go 5 each side, total of 10 here. Slowly coming out of that. Again, I'm not wrenching myself as I go. I'm just taking it and I'm just going across the body as I reach. Right, the other hand is really pressing into the wall to help some good stability. And again, keeping the trunk engaged. So as I do it, so I don't necessarily want to wrench myself back and forth. Again, this one's just nice and light on this one. All right, our final one here coming down to the floor. I'm going to come into our frog position. So with the frog position, we've been working with that in previous videos. A little bit wider, maybe than your squat stance if you want a little extra from this. I'm coming down to an all fours position here. And then just like our cat-cow, I'm going to do a nice little movement through the spine. All right, so that's also from the side here. Probably a little bit easier to see it. Coming down on the elbows. I'm going to think about tucking the tailbone underneath, going through, kind of that cat position. And then I'm going to untuck. I'm not forcing it, going to the cow position. All right, we're going to get 5 total. 5 total. Nice and smooth, where we breathe. One more. Nice. That is all I've got for you today. Thanks for coming by and checking us out. This has been Recover in Place.